Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name's Rodney Glover. I'm the candidate for governor for Florida. I am non-party affiliated. What I wanted to ask you was, what are you getting for your vote? So what I did was I took 10 policies that's on my webpage, glover2026.com, in the research area, and I looked back 20 years to figure out, okay, what is affecting 40% minimum? This means it has to affect 40% of our state, and see if you, the voter, had an opportunity to put these things in place. Now, we know that for the past 20 years, this state has been Republican ran. So, yes, you Republican voters, I'm non-party affiliated. What have you been getting for your vote? So I wanted you to actually get an opportunity to take a look at it. Now, again, what you're going to see is me point out this thing. What did you get? 20 years of Florida voting and federal policy. 10 policies examined, 40% citizens affected per policy, and 9 out of 10 of those policies looked at, you did not get a say in. And that's where things need to start. That's where we're going to start looking at how we're going to kind of move forward with what it actually did you get. So 2 questions in every policy. Each slide will answer how many Floridians were perfected and did citizens get to vote on it. X, legislator decided, plus citizens voted, ballot measure, or a referendum. The Welcome Policy Stranger Act. There's our first one. Florida Statute 193.155. New buyers pay an average of 167% more in property taxes than the previous owner. No citizen got to vote on this. So when you buy those houses, it's going to hurt. Senate Bill 102, the rent control ban, simply meaning we're never going to address rent control in the state of Florida. Florida rent rose 20 to 40%. From 2021 to 2023, no citizen votes at all. This was all done by your representatives. Your electric bill went up. You had no vote. Rate hike adds 175 to 289 per year to every Florida Power customer bill. You did not have any access to vote on this. Insurance reform. 12 million Floridian homeowners affected. Average premiums are $5,900 per year. No citizen vote. House Bill 837, Senate Bill 2 Alpha, and Senate Bill 4 Delta. All of these passed without your approval directly. 69,000 workers lost their unions overnight. 77% of Florida public sector workers, 900,000 workers, 54 plus public sector unions destroyed. No citizen vote whatsoever. No citizen vote. But these are all the things that are happening in this state. $5.7 billion a year to corporations without asking you. No citizen vote. 700 per household in foreign revenue. 8.1 million Florida households all affected. 100% of our Florida households are affected. You didn't get a say so. The one big beautiful bill, who actually pays for it? You didn't get a vote in that. 2.9 million Floridians lose Medicaid. 3.5 million Floridians lose SNAP benefits. Florida, 4.5 million Social Security recipients at risk. You did not get a vote. A war you didn't vote for is costing you at the pump. 100% of Floridians, every driver, every household, you didn't get a single vote at any step. That's House Resolution 211 and House Resolution 313. You did not get a say-so. The 20-year scorecard, did you vote on any of this? Look, you can take a look. What did they ask you for? Could felons' voting rights be restored? That's how much they think about you. Here is the most important thing they thought to give you. If felons could have their voting rights restored. That's it. Now, for me, legislative authority for citizens is going to give you those powers. It's going to give you direct citizen voting power on legislation. It's going to give you the constitutional protections that become permanent. And it's going to give you the ability to recall all unaccounted elected officials. Bottom line. So again, when you decide whether or not you're going to give me the support, you need to go and look and see what your vote, or who even cares to ask you to vote on the things that are affecting at minimum 40% of the Floridians that live in this state. And if you're going to tell me that all Republicans are in the 40%, or all Democrats are not in that percentage, or that those 8 million people, those 12 million people, those individuals, none of them are Republican, you're wrong. If you're going to say that they're all Democrat or they're all non-party affiliated, and every Republican in this state is doing absolutely great, because again, 20 years this state has been Republican majority. And the Republican majority says that the most important thing that they wanted to ask you was whether or not, now this is things that affect 40% of Floridian households, whether or not you should talk about restoring those rights, which is already a judiciary process in place. So it's really interesting to me why that would be the one thing that they would ask in the 20-year research. But nonetheless, I want to give you access to every single one of those pieces of legislation that you're not allowed to vote on. I want to give you that. I want to put a system in place for Florida that allows every Floridian access to vote on all legislation. If you're telling me that's a wrong thing, then you need to explain why every Floridian should not have a voice. Yet, everybody is asked to register to vote. You got to explain how being able to vote but not being able to vote on anything is the right thing to do. Hey, you need to register to vote, but I don't want you to vote on anything that matters. Y'all have got to start making that make sense. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm bringing you this information. Go to glover2026.com, check out my research page. You can see all of the references for where all of my data comes from. We can push back, but only if you choose to. You guys have a great afternoon.